Good morning, everyone. Well, today I thought I'd do something a little different. I would like to show you a DI pedal. It's something that you must have if you're going to play with a group, or maybe you play in church and you need to hook into a PA system. And so to have a good quality pedal or a DI, I think it's super important, and to not cheap on it. Don't go cheap on it, okay? Because if your signal going out to that board is good, if you have a good sound person, my goodness, it's no telling, they can make you sound really, really nice. But if your signal's coming out bad, I mean, they can probably shape it, but it's so much better as if you give them a good signal to begin with. I play in church. In fact, it's morning while you're listening to this. I'm probably getting dressed and getting ready to go to service. And I'm going to play at two different churches today. The same church, we just have two campuses. So I go from one to the other. And I have set up a little different in each place. I have a L.R. Baggs venue in one place, and I have Grace Technology in another. And I like them both. They're very high quality and they work really well. But I thought I'd show you one that's kind of mid-range in price. It's not too bad, but it's high quality, and it's made by L.R. Baggs. It's kind of like a no-frills DI, but yet it does have the ability to shape your tone a little bit, and it will provide a nice quality signal. So I'm going to show that to you in just a moment. But first, I want to let you know that coming up, not this Tuesday, but the next Tuesday, I believe that's the 15th, at 6 p.m., we're going to have another live. So mark your calendars, and I hope you join us, and we'll figure out something to do on that date to make it kind of fun. And so it'll be a live at 6 p.m., and that's on a Tuesday. So we're going to go back to a Tuesday, 6 p.m. That seems to work the best. I went back and looked at statistics that YouTube puts out, and they suggest that Tuesday at 6 p.m. or thereabouts, there's a window of time there that it works really well. And so I know there's some people in some countries that it's not going to be that comfortable for you. But there's no way to make everybody happy. So it's just the way it is. I tried a different date this last time, and it went pretty well. But we didn't really get the participation that we normally do. It wasn't quite as high. And I think it's because of the time, the date that it was actually set up. So that's that. So coming up on the 15th, it's a Tuesday, 6 p.m. California time. We're going to have a live. Mark your calendars. I'll be putting out an invitation on my channel regarding the information on it, and we'll have a good time. All right. Well, let's get back to what I wanted to talk about today. I have here what I feel is a not too expensive DI. This one cost about $180, somewhere around there, and it's made by L.R. Baggs. And like I said, it's a no frills. I have their venue. It has much more in terms of being able to shape your tone coming out of your guitar. The venue is made for an acoustic guitar, and this particular system that I have also is made for an acoustic guitar. So if you're going to get a DI and you're playing acoustic, get an acoustic DI of some sort. It actually will work better with your guitar. So let me show this to you. I'm gonna change this phone here. This is actually running right now, and this is called the Para Acoustic DI, and it's been around for quite a while. It's made by L.R. Baggs, and it has a lot of really, really nice features to it. I think right now I have it running from a L.R. Baggs Hi-Fi pickup that's in my guitar, and right now I'm playing the M21 Martin, and so I have it going out, and as you can see there's an input here, and it's going out with a 1/4 inch cable, and then I'm bringing the output that's going to my bows right here on this side. This particular unit only works by battery, as you can see. There's no place to plug in power from the wall. So basically it's battery. So there's a 9-volt battery in there. I'm not sure how many hours. I think it lasts quite a while. And if the battery starts going low, you'll see a signal happen on this red light over here. I believe it starts blinking when it's time for you to start thinking about changing that battery out, which is very simple. I mean, you just open, it's like a little drawer, it comes out, stick the new battery in, and you're good for quite a while. So they don't go out real quick, and it's kind of nice. I think just running it off a battery, it lasts so long. You know, if you keep it changed out periodically, you're not going to have any problems with it just quitting on you. You'll know in advance because it gives you a signal and a warning in advance of the battery going out. So we have a signal coming in here. There's an input, and then I have it coming out, the output. You'll notice there's also an effects loop here that you can use. Here's the loop here, and I don't have it hooked up to anything right now, but generally, you know, it's nice to use an effects loop when you have other pedals that you want to blend into this signal, and those other pedals are based on some kind of a time signal, like a delay. A delay is on timing, so it would do quite well. This is the way I understand it. It would do quite well in a loop. Another is your reverb. Reverb does well in a loop situation. So it is there if you want to use something like that. The other thing is that it has a gain knob down here on the edge. You'll see it. I'm going to lift it up right here. That's a gain. You want to be careful not to use your gain as a volume. It's not volume. It's when you adjust your gain, you really want to be listening to your sound to make sure you're not distorting the sound. In fact, really it depends on the type of pickup you're using. If you're using a passive pickup, you're probably going to want your gain to be a little bit higher so you can hear it, versus an active pickup. If you have that gain too high, it'll start to sound, to me, I call it a trash can sound. It'll sound kind of like a trash can. You want to edge it down so all that extra noise and that extra, I don't know, it's a fizzle that you get, is cut out, and you can do that with the gain. So think of the gain as a way of cleaning up your signal, okay? You've got to have the gain on. You can't turn it off. And you have to have enough gain that you get enough volume. But you do have a volume knob, but if you don't have enough gain going in, the volume knob only can give so much. So you got to find a balance. There's quite a balance there. But you do not want to overdo the gain. You want to do as low as possible, with getting what you need in terms of the signal, but not getting a distortion. Does that make sense? So you have to play around with that, and you have to be thinking about what kind of a pickup you have going in when you're adjusting this. Right now, I think I have this at about 11 o'clock. Nope, I don't. I have this set at about 1 o'clock. And that's with this guitar. You can hear it's very clean. And right now I have it coming out to the Yamaha here. So I set this right here. And I have the Yamaha set on a condenser. No, it's set on a tube amp. And I turned off the delays and everything. I tried to get it as clean as possible. Okay, so it sounds really nice, sounds really good. And if I want to, I can increase the volume on that right here with this volume knob. You'll hear it. Hear that, so. If I want it louder. turn that down. And you notice it's not feeding back, and I've got my guitar really right up to the pickup. I mean, yeah, to the amplifier, which really surprises me. But then this is only like a 10. This is like 10 watts. It's really not a super huge. It's meant for practicing. So yeah. So it's got a volume knob. And we have a gain over here. So, you know, there's a dance between the two, but be real careful not to use the gain as your volume. It should be used as a way to balance, find that balance, that you don't get that fizzle and hiss that you get when your gain is too high. Do you want to hear what that sounds like? Let me turn that up. I might get feedback here. Okay. Hear that, but I'm going to turn it down. It's a real small knob. Hear that? It came down. Isn't that better? Now I can turn the volume up a little more. And it's going to be real clean. So yeah, so we have that now. We also have a low here. So if I want, I can make adjustments to make that low. And that is very effective. When I turn that up, I can almost feel the rumble coming from it. But I'm going to back it down because it's just a little too much. There we go. I'm going to put it about 12 o'clock. Next knob knob is a mid-range. I'm going to come back to this one. So we have a mid-range. I have that right now at 12 o'clock. You can hear it change. Turn it down. But I'm going to run that at about 12 o'clock. The treble, I'm going to go all the way over here. I'm going to skip this knob and come back to it. We have a treble over here, and it's set at about, I think that's at about 9 o'clock or so. I like to keep the treble down a little bit because when it's up too high, I'm going to turn it all the way up. I don't like the sound. A lot of times what happens if you have a string that not so much as buzzing, but it has a little bit of, I don't know, kind of a sizzle on that high end, whatever. I don't like that sound. And if you bring the treble back a little bit, usually I'll run it at about, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, somewhere in there. But to me, it just cleans it up, makes it sound more mellow. So then it also has a presence knob, and again, this knob, if you turn it all the way up, you're going to start getting that sizzle again. But sometimes if your signal just sounds too dull, you can give it a little more presence, and it'll come back and sound nice. Okay, so so that's a presence knob, and then we have this notch over here. The notch is great for when you get a lot of feedback. You can adjust your notch here. You also have a inverter or a phase switch over here that you can click, especially for low end feedback. You can invert it, and when you leave it out, that's kind of the normal setting. I just leave it out. I don't usually have a problem with feedback. And the notch is good also for adjusting for feedback, but you can also do some EQ settings with it. So if you'll notice if you turn the notch, let's turn it all the way down. And then when you turn it up, I don't know if you can hear that. It just gives to me it pulls the mid-range up a little bit. It sounds really good. So I usually use a little bit of that notch, and then you'll notice you follow this little line, this little road going up, and there's a fine tune on the notch up here too for setting your EQs with it. And that's true for your mid-range too. You can change your frequencies out. In fact, I've always been taught that if you take your mid-range and turn it all the way up, and then you play it, and you can take this knob here, and you can kind of find, that sound that you don't like and kind of dial it out. And then you can come back and bring your mid-range back down to mid to normal, and it'll actually sound better. So that's all in just a little package. It's battery operated, $180. It has an XLR out, so you don't have to use a 1/4 inch out. And most of the time, if like in church, they have this type of connection coming out for me. So I would hook this into here. So I like this little unit. It works really well. It's built very, very well. It has padding on the bottom. You could put this on a pedal board if you wanted to build a pedal board with some other types of pedals with it. Put a little reverb with it, put a little delay. Perhaps you might have something else you enjoy playing with your acoustic. You stick that in there, maybe a chorus pedal or whatever. You can run some of it through the loop, and you have a nice little pedal board using a device like this. But you are using battery, so you do want to keep in mind that if that battery starts, if you start seeing that thing blink, you'll know it's time to change your battery out. So there we have it. So I'm going to leave this with that. If you have any questions, let me know. I have the Venue, which is a much larger pedal, has a lot more to offer on that pedal in terms of effects. And then I also have the Grace technology, but I have them on pedal board, so I've added other pedals to just carve that sound that I like to hear. And sometimes I like to tinker too, so so it just makes it fun. So that's that. I think it sounds pretty good. All right, so we're going to leave this here. And don't forget, we're going to have a live, not this Tuesday, but the next Tuesday. And we'll have a good time, 6 p.m. here California time. And don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you all have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.